We will answer your call as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we are still busy. Please continue to hold. Unfortunately, we are still busy. Please continue to hold.
Complete mockery.
All of our administrators are busy at the moment. Please hold the line and we will answer your call as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we are still busy. Please continue to hold.
Point of access, Josh speaking, how can I help?
Oh, hi Josh. I'm ringing on behalf of my brother Mr. Talib Hussain, date of birth 15/9/1960, and I would like you to put me through to Christopher Browell.
Okay. Can I just get your brother's name again?
It's Mr. Talib Hussain.
Okay, thank you. I'm just getting to his record now.
Are you new?
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, I ring up quite regularly. I've not spoken to you before.
Yeah, I've been on the SPA team for a while, but I've only just started taking community mental health calls.
Oh, are you? Okay, I see.
Yeah, okay, so is it Christopher Browell you want to speak to?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, just bear with me one moment. I'm just going to get a new ticket open. Okay. What's your name, please?
My name's Mr. Hussain.
Okay, and get your contact number, please.
You have it on file.
Okay. Right, let me just try and get Chris's number up.
Okay.
Okay. Right, I'm going to try and pop you through now.
Thank you.
Hi, Shazad.
Oh, hi Chris. How are you?
I'm okay, you alright?
Yes, I'm all good. It's lovely weather outside. It always puts you in a good mood, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So,
Talib okay?
yeah. Well, no, actually, as you know, Talib goes through these periods of high constipation, and then there's a blowout afterwards, and I've just been really overwhelmed with just dealing with his incontinence recently. But it's something that I'm aware of. It's something that's obviously I know how to cope with, but it's still it's still a hard job, having to clean up his feces and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done, innit? Obviously, if I'm charging £1 million a week, it can't be easy, can it?
No, that's true. Yeah.
No, he's obviously. Look, Chris, I'm just obviously concerned about his health, simply because obviously we don't have access to his GP. And before we just continue, we did have a conversation last week. Obviously, one of the issues I'm trying to raise with yourself is regarding the GP. Can you just remind me? Did we speak on a Wednesday or a Thursday?
I think it was the 20th.
Or the 20th. Well, on the very day, on the 20th, I've got a letter in front of me dated the 20th of April from Greenbank Medical Practice, and it's basically from the practice, and effectively it's addressed to my brother and my sister. And it's like, as I explained to you when I last spoke to you, I was very, very aggrieved at the fact that my call was unilaterally terminated with them. They don't want to talk to me. And similarly, in this regard, I act, as you can appreciate, I act as a representative for my brother and my sister. In the case of my brother, obviously there's complications because you, the local authority, are also looking to act on his behalf. But in regards to my sister, I have a lasting power of attorney. It's registered with the Office of the Public Guardian. The GP practice are fully aware of it. But similarly, they're not looking to recognize me as a representative. But the thing that they've said is basically asking us to register with a different GP of our choice, and the pretext given is that we are no longer on the special allocation scheme. And remember that special allocation scheme was one where allegations were being made against me that I was being aggressive or abusive to this previous GP practice. And under those circumstances, that's the same thing that's happened with my own GP practice. It was already coordinated around about towards the end of 2021, and that often what happens when there are patients that are being abusive to staff members or the GP, they can look to delist them from being registered with them, but then obviously they need to be put somewhere else. And so I believe what the special allocation scheme that they're referring to is something like the similar thing that's happening in Bradford, where you're allocated to a particular GP unilaterally, simply because of like safeguarding issues or regarding the conduct and behavior of the patient. But anyway, we received this letter, and as it presently stands, I don't really know how best to deal with it regarding his health and welfare issues, because obviously, nobody's looking to recognize me formally on paper, that I act as his representative, because obviously neither is the GP practice, and neither is the council, and neither is the health authorities, anybody else. So, obviously, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, that this is a issue of concern to me, because obviously, like, my brother is a vulnerable adult, with high dependency needs, to a point where I can assure you that he's double incontinence, requires 24-hour care, to a point where I have to dress him, feed, and obviously help him cut his food up to feed him. So I'm just really concerned about this. Do you have any progress on this particular matter?
No, not with regards to GP in Oldham, no.
Okay, no, but it's not just the GP in Oldham. You, the local authority, have instigated procedures, as you're fully aware, because my brother had signed over the lasting power of attorney for health and welfare. Now, this is a very grey area, and it's very, very negligent on the part of not only the local authority, Bradford Council, but also the Office of the Public Guardian, but more importantly, the Judge Beckley at the Court of Protection, to leave my brother in this legal vacuum.
If you want to have spoken with the appointee sheets today, if at some point we can arrange for a meeting, obviously it'd be great if Talib can also be there as well. representatives from the council, or maybe you could voice some of your opinions to them or some of your concerns regarding the lack of power of attorney.
Well, I mean, why? I mean, the problem. Okay, so let's just first of all, I just wanted to discuss the health and welfare issues. There's nothing issue. There's been no development in this. That I mean, obviously, I'm explaining to you that these are the problems I'm having. You asked the start of this conversation. You asked how Talib was. I explained to you that Talib obviously his health and welfare is being maintained by me, and he's being cared for by me. We go through these regular episodes where he becomes highly constipated. Sorry, yeah, doesn't open his bowels for like a good 3 weeks. I think in this particular instant it's been about 3.5 weeks. And then after that, he goes through this dramatic period of, obviously having overflow, which can last for a couple of days. And I'm just at the present stage, coming to the back end of that. He's now like recovered, and I'm just trying to get him, back to normal. But the problem is that, he does. I would like him to be like under somebody's care, health, like a GP practice. But as it presently stands, that's not happening because I'm not being recognised. So that's the problem.
How does that stop him being registered to a GP practice?
We've gone over this before, haven't we, Mr. Browell? I need to be recognised as representing him, don't I? Under what?
Well, if you turn up to the GP surgery, the two of you, and request to register him, they'll accept that.
No, Mr. Browell. The problem we're having is not registering with a new GP practice. The problem we're having is with the old GP practice are not recognizing me, even though that's exactly what we initially did. We initially, as you can appreciate, when you the Bradford Council made us homeless and we ended up staying on our sister's couch in Oldham, I did the right thing. I registered my brother with Sun Valley Medical Practice. My brother went down, he signed the paperwork, I signed the paperwork to act on his behalf. The problem here is not registering. The problem is that when I do register him, let's just say for argument's sake, alright, tomorrow I go register him at a GP practice. That's not a problem. The problem, as I've explained to you at length previously, is that then you, the local authority, would look to sabotage my representation of him, and you would say to me, well, we don't recognize you as representing him. You will then interfere with the GPs there, saying that, oh, do you know we've criminally convicted him, and so on and so forth. Sabotage that relationship, and then hijack that relationship between the patient and doctor. That has happened in Talib's particular case on 3 to 4 previous occasions. All right, and that's the problem, not the fact that I can get him registered. The problem remains is that the local authority, will not recognize me in any regards as representing my brother, whether for health and welfare or finances. That is the problem. Because you may say to me, oh, well, you can do this, you can do, whimsically, you can do this and that. But the reality is that it is a fact that you've never written out to me or put any document in front of me that's saying that I represent him. Now, what concerns me is this letter that I've received from the medical GP practice in Oldham, which are equally stating that they're writing directly to my brother and sister, knowing the fact that my brother and sister cannot read English, and knowing the fact that I represent them. That is the problem. So it's not the case of, oh, well, there's something preventing us from registering him. As you're fully aware, nothing's preventing us from registering Talib or my sister to another GP. Interestingly enough, my own GP, as you can appreciate, I explained to you, my own GP reported me and had me removed. I'm now at a GP practice on the same scheme, and I'm refusing to register myself with a GP. And the reason I'm refusing to register myself with a GP, and I'm having the very same letters being sent to me by, the safeguarding of this very scheme in Bradford. I think it goes by a different terminology, but it's the same thing in it. This GP, that my present GP, is not something I registered with. It was something that was allocated to me as a result of the previous GP, Appeal Park Surgery in Bradford, making unfounded allegations about me and basically antagonizing me and setting me up And so now presently my own GP is an allocated GP. I've not selected him. My brothers and sisters GP are both allocated GPs, and this all happened at the same time. So for you to state and that, oh, you can get him registered, never mind getting him registered, I'm refusing to get registered with a GP and my present allocated GP, saying that, look, you've been on this scheme for now over like 6 months or a year or so, you're not a threat to anybody, and we would encourage you to get another GP. All right, so that's what my own GP is saying to me, and I'm refusing to do so because any GP I select, I know the fact that given the present circumstances, there will be an interference, an antagonism by Bradford Council. They've interfered in my own GP practice, my own relationship with my GP, to a point where my GP has confessed to me that, look, we were only following instructions from Bradford Council. So my own GP has told me this. So I'm.
So Shazad, I can't help you with this problem. I've already said, really. I don't. I've said if we can arrange for a meeting for yourself and maybe Talib's, then you can bring that problem direct to my seniors and things like that. I still can't provide any help on that.
Okay.
I've asked about the balance. So apparently, I don't know the exact balance, but I've been given the go-ahead to be able to say, yeah, it's over £100,000 in appointeeships. So
over £100,000?
Yes, that's what I've been told.
Well, we've asked for a balance. Over £100,000 is not a balance, is it?
Well, that's what I've been told by appointeeships. So that's
okay. And have
again, I'm just relaying that information.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. So first of all, just for clarity of understanding, let me just deal with this one issue. So previously, when you came down, in May, my brother asked you how much money of mine have you got. Then subsequently, they've told you that it's not our policy to disclose that information, and you've previously said, well, I'm not happy to even accept that information. Now, since our last conversation, you've gone back to appointeeship, and they've told you that he's got over £100,000, and you've relayed that to myself. And are they aware that you will be relaying that to me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, now, if you're orally relaying that to me, what would be stopping them to write? Because you've written to my brother before, haven't you? And this was what my brother had asked for from you personally. So what would stop you?
I've got to call you back. I've got a call. Let me call you back in 10 minutes, please. Okay.
Okay, it's okay, no problem.
Please hold.
Some gobbledygook, all right? Over £100,000 my brother got, and we're here dying, all right, starving to death. How have they got £100,000? You need a breakdown. It's not £100,000. It can't be £100,000. We don't understand how that's happened.